everyone, it's Lindsay by Choice here. I am so happy you're here with me today. We're on the very last loft apartment that we're going to be furnishing for our Everest Acre loft apartment build. So if you want to download this, you can. It's up on the gallery. I know we've been waiting 7 days for this. So go ahead. My name is Lindsay by Choice. But until then, if you really want to see how this blended family apartment comes to be and my mindset behind it, please go ahead and stick throughout the video. So grab what you need and let's get into it. So if you've been around my channel for a while, you know I always start out with just placeholder furniture and then I go in and put in the things that I want. So the kitchen is where the kitchen's gonna be, the living room is where the living room is gonna be, and same for the dining room. But now it's time for us to actually get into furnishing, and I feel like I really gravitated towards orange. Let's get into the specifics of this and the overall dynamic. So by the title of this video, you know this is for a blended family. And so I actually mentally created the Sims in my head, not in the game, but I feel like their names are like Rick and Chelsea. And so this is actually Rick's loft, and Rick actually has a child sim. So I think they're a few ways away from being a teenager, but they have a child, and Chelsea has a infant child. And so once they got married, Chelsea moved into the loft with Rick. And so all of the color dynamic and things that you see in this main space is really just decoration that Chelsea brought in. So Chelsea gravitates towards a bunch of pinks and oranges, really vibrant colors, because this loft has a dark tone to it. So what I was really going for is more of a realistic family home. So although it's a blended family, I don't know if you could technically tell by just looking in this unit. Now, I would just think it's a family, and a blended family is just a family in the end, but I wanted to be a little bit more specific for how this is, and it just creates a nice storyline. So I'll say moving forward that this is just for a family. And so in this, I end up adding a bunch of things all over this communal space that really alludes to a family being here, a fun, loving, involved family. So we have a cookbook with a bunch of notes on it. There is a family project, I think. That's not really a project in The Sims 4, but I think it is. And I think it's something that probably the child gave Chelsea for, Mother's Day or something similar to that. And it is just the flower that is made out of like arts and craft material. So I do end up adding that soon. And then there is the baby things all over. And so you're probably thinking, how is this a 2-bedroom, 2-bath? So actually there is one full bedroom that the parents took, and then there is a bedroom that is kind of walled off and it has an entrance. And so it is a room, but not a room with a door, and that is where the children are staying. The infant is on one side of the wall and the actual child is on the other side. And so there are a lot of things that end up going in there. I tailored a lot of the decorations to the infant child that's here, and it's really like there are a bunch of decorations for the actual child because, they were living in this space first. And so they're really trying to adapt to having a sibling, you know what I mean? And that can definitely be a rough adjustment, but I feel like they are all for it. They're so happy to have a sibling of their own. And so they're going for it. They don't care about having to share their space with them. And I think that shows because they do have to give up a lot of space that was actually theirs to begin with. And I think they're kind of like best friends. And yes, that can be a little bit off because how can a child be best friends with an infant? I'm saying in the sense that, the baby is very happy around the child. The child is always trying to make the baby happy. If you know how siblings can be, you know exactly what I mean. But I really wanted to add a lot of decoration in this room because it's not a lot of space. We have a bunch of things that, the child can interact with. We have that toy, the big stuffed animal. There is a seat there. There are a bunch of toys through here. I add some storage, and I think the storage here is really for both of them. I don't think they have a bunch of clothes, a bunch of different things like that. And that's okay. Like, I did want to section it off because the child had decorations before the infant got there, so they have their own rug and their own color scheme in that corner that's for them. And then the child has some too, but they're all really cohesive and it kind of works together in my opinion. I do kind of jump around this unit a lot because it's a lot of space compared to the other units in this building. This is the largest and it takes up one full level the length of the building. So I did have to go a bit everywhere, but I do make sure that it makes sense. So we jump from the outside outside to the inside to the parents' room, but I did want to make sure that the flow made sense for the family and it was very playable for your Sims. So I think everything that's put here is very intentional, whether that be Rick or Chelsea. I think one of them is an interior decorator or designer, and so everything here is very intentional. I'm talking all the way down to the smallest details. Things can get unexpected because they have 2 small children, so things are going to be everywhere and misplaced, but I think that the initial decorations and choices and things like that are very intentional, and I'm sure you can see that in my favorite part of the house, which is the study area. So since Chelsea moved in, you know, I said they were gravitating towards oranges and pinks, and so that really shows up in the bedroom as well on that rug. I love that rug. It has a blend of orange, we have some yellow, we have a bit of pink and some purple-ish tones throughout it. They have a very big closet in that room, but I think it's a shared kind of closet. I think some of the children's things are in there, like winter clothes. They have a bunch of things in there because I didn't add a dresser or closet in the children's room, so they need to have some additional places to store things. Now this entire unit is very interesting to me, but I think the most interesting ends up being the bathroom. Now it starts out being a very modern thing, so if you download the lot without it being furnished, if you haven't checked out that video, go ahead and do so. I'll post it in the description box, but also put it somewhere in this video so you can check it out. But with downloading this lot unfurnished, the bathroom is very modern. They end up going for older tile and older fixtures in the bathroom, and I think that's very unique. Now I definitely think this is a design choice for the family. Like, they ended up wanting those kinds of things. There ends up being a bunch of activities to do in here. Now I think Chelsea and the child end up taking up a hobby together, and so I end up adding a child violin and an adult violin next to the door later on in the video, and you can see, like, it's just so cute, and I think it's a way for them to bond, or maybe Rick and the child, I don't know. It's really up to you on what you decide to do, but this is how I thought about it when I was placing these items. I wanted to make sure there were a lot of activities. I wanted to make sure it made sense because it is a family of a newborn. We have other things going on, and there is a small sense of chaos lingering throughout this family. So I added some clothes on a chair, baby bottles, water bottles, toys, mail everywhere. Like, it just makes sense that this is for a family home. But before, there were all of these baby bottles and things, because, you know, the child that was living here didn't use baby bottles, so there didn't need to be a lot of baby proofing. It was okay for them to have more delicate and fragile items throughout, but since they have moved that stuff into their inventory or realistic storage unit and just bought things that made sense for the family. Around this time is where I just go in and add some more decorations. I just add things that I feel like I just missed the first go around, things that make it look a little bit more realistic, fill in some gaps. I love this balcony area. I end up adding the hopscotch thing, a little folding bar, and then we have some chairs, and of course we needed to have some things for the infant. We are finally coming up to the end of this build. Now, if you want to download this, again, it's already up in the gallery. Go ahead and do so. If you want to subscribe to the channel, you can also do that too, and click the notification bell to be notified when I post. I'm so happy you stuck through this little series that we did. I know I skipped a day, and that's because some unexpected events kind of popped up on me and I couldn't post. But you can finally download this, and it's on the day that we said. We were going for the 28th, and it is the 28th, and now you can download this off the gallery. Again, I am happy that I'm able to build for you all. I hope you enjoyed this with me. I know it was a bit of a roller coaster going in and out of all of these different rooms, but I am very happy in the end, and I hope you can kind of sense that through the video, but also in my decoration style. So I hope you enjoy the screenshots. Bye.